Today's video is about my garden that's way down the end of the yard. And over here. And this hose and the distance it takes. And then it has to do with this box. So I'm going to assemble that, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, you can see I've opened the box. I haven't taken anything out yet, but I did pull off the instructions and tools needed for cart assembly. They're saying a 10 millimeter or M10 wrench. They're not saying anything about a kneeling pad, but I added that, and a screwdriver. I think there's more than one kind of screwdriver, so I'm going to use my special screwdriver pack, so I'll have the right one. So I'm going to unpack all this, get it out, spread it out on the floor. Hopefully I can stay in camera. See what we have. Hose, 4 non-inflatable tires, it won't go flat anyways. Looks like we have a drum. That's a musical type. We have some sort of a bracket here. Looks like a bottom bracket. We got a chrome accessories. I think that's for the hose to attach. We'll put that over there. A brace. That's a brace there. A handle. This looks like the handle for the top. Put that over here. Probably the last thing to go on. We have a basket with an advertisement on it. More brackets for the bottom of the base. And another bracket. And then last but least, we have 2 wheels and an axle. It looks like 2 axles. So we'll get that out of the way. So we'll follow the instructions just because they should. I don't see any screws. They must be hidden somewhere in here. Oh, there's a screw back right in here. Didn't say anything about a knife or something to cut tie wrap with. And one utility knife from the toolbox. Separate the axles. Put the axles over here with the wheels. And those can go over there. That's last. And I need my utility knife again. Open the package of screws and whatnot. Oh, nice. All right. Looks like we got lots of nuts and bolts. Kind of organize them into sizes. I know sometimes when you order stuff, it's already divided up in sizes. This isn't. So it's probably a wise thing to do. So you don't use the wrong bolts in the wrong places. These washers and these screws look like they go together. Got a steel washer there. I don't see. Oh, there's more. Okay, we got 4 of those. 2 of those. Those look like hose part. There's a bearing. And 4 cotter pins. So I got them divided up. Should be easy to put together. So it's telling me to install the front crank frame to the side frames using the M6 by 35 bolt sets. One of the reasons instructions aren't real good. And why a lot of people don't, they just go at it and get it done. All right, I need that utility knife that they didn't say anything about again. So we got that. And actually, I think it would be wise to put the axle in here to help me support it. Let's see if I'm still in the picture. Yep. It's telling me to put the side frame together. The end frame, which I believe goes in here. I'm using the axles as my second helper here to hold things together, because this just makes it nicer. Now the reason I'm buying or bought this cart, I've had a plastic one, a hose reel, and it worked, but it had a lot of problems. Being plastic, it doesn't always want to agree to do the things that you wanted it to do. These must be the M6 by 35. And we'll put the one washer. These instructions are not great. Because there's 2 ways you could do this. You could either put the washer on the bolt head or on the nut. If I was assembling this, I would want to wash on both sides. But we're going to put the washer on the hex head side, and the nut's going to be free to turn. And a little bit of alignment problem over here. That fixed. I'm going to take it back up now, because I didn't put the washer, like I said, I was going to put the washer on the bolt first. We'll put the nut up against the other side. And I won't tighten anything until I've got it mostly assembled. Yeah, messed up my nuts and bolts. Two more of these long ones. It looks like the gauge of the material is pretty nice. So what prompted me to buy this? I mean, normally when I'm watering my garden way in the back, I take the hose out and I'll leave it there. And then when I mowed the grass, I just move the hose out of the way, and mow around it. Well, that works okay. It just means you got a hose in your yard all the time because it's a pain to roll it up every time and have it sitting in the way. And I do have the ones that mount onto the house, and those work nice for shorter ones. But a long hose like that, it's much more difficult. All right, so we're supposed to put this in here. Guess there's not a up or down side of it. So back to why I bought this. We live in a suburb area, and we have Spectrum for cable out here, or internet, and then Google came along and they ran their fiber in here, so we have Google fiber available. And now Frontier, they decided to run their fiber in also. So my front yard has 5 big holes where they dug in the ground and torqued my grass. And so now I'm watering out there too. So I'm watering, I've got that big long hose out there so I can reach all the spots and try to get my grass to grow back before summer comes. Because once summer gets here, it gets hot and stuff will die. And young grass won't make it. They could have done this all in the fall, and then I would have had a chance to get my grass to grow back. All right. Wow. Look at that. We've already come a long ways. All right, so get my screwdriver, which there's the screwdriver. It looks like, so it told me 10 millimeter. It says a M10 wrench or adjustable wrench. It didn't tell me I needed 2. So now I gotta go get some more tools. I'll be right back. Let me move this closer. And back on the floor. I'm going to go ahead and tighten the handle down. And this was not mentioned in the instructions, but it works. Now it doesn't tell how tight to tighten these down, and I did put the hex heads on the outside so that they didn't snag somebody walking by. And you don't have to over tighten them. These are elastic nuts, lock nuts, so I wouldn't over tighten them. Just snug them up good, just so the handle doesn't move. I don't think I want to tighten this all the way, because I think there's going to be an alignment issue here. So let's not do that yet. We'll just bring them in. I think if you over tighten these, you probably could crush that tubing. I don't think that would be the right thing to do. So once again, don't over tighten them. Okay. It's telling me I can put my wheels on. All right, it's install wheels using a 10 millimeter large washer and a cotter pin. there are two sides to this wheel. If you can see it, one's higher than the other. I'm going to put the raised area on the inside. I think that would be the right thing to do. This will be interesting. I'm going to tip this up because I'm going to push down on the wheel a little bit. The 4 seems to get farther away every time I try to get up. A pair of pliers to bend the cotter pins. Now you don't need to bend the cotter pins all the way over. I mean, it depends what you like to do with them. But you grab the end, the long end, and just spread them out. Easier said than done. The axle wants to turn. Some people will take them and bend them all the way around. I'm thinking maybe I'll do that on this just so we don't catch them. Or you can cut them off. Depends on how many times you think you're going to take this thing apart. Because really, the cotter pin could be just take the long end and bend it open. Just it won't fall out. But because this is probably going to be here long term. Alright. They're on there. We're good. Alright, so where are we at? Looks like we got to put the brace in. But you know what? This would be a good time to get my trusty assistant to help me. Because I would like to make sure these wheels roll nice, and we got a nice hill out front. And if I could get her to sit up on this, and I'll send her down that hill and see.
I don't think so.
See, it's no cooperation at all. It just sounds like a fun thing to do. Because it looks like it would roll nice.
Yeah,
Could you probably even stand up and hang on to this?
Fun thing to do at my expense.
Okay. So she won't help me. So let's put the next part on. It looks like they want me to put assemble the drum and the two ends. So I'm going to make these two pieces. Let's throw the card out away from it. Let's put this over here. Oh, isn't that pretty? So I would think that it goes a lot like this. Now they gave me washers and flat washers, and so maybe they were right on the screwdriver, because this could be either Phillips or regular. But I wonder why we don't have lock washers. I can see in the future that I might have to put some Loctite on these. Let me bring these around closer to where I'm at. I guess I could tell them the story about you riding your bike. I go for a walk every day, and my wife goes for a ride on her bike, or trike, three-wheel bicycle with the electric assist on it. Anyways, there's a hill over there that I go up and down 3 times, and there was a guy with his kids over there playing baseball. They were just throwing the ball for him so they could hit it. And actually, I was on my bicycle, and I'm pedaling up the hill, and I'm kind of going slow, and she flies up the hill, and he looked at me, he said, "She's moving." And I said, "Yeah, she's got electric assist on her bike." She thought she was just the healthiest person in the world flying up that hill.
He thought. I didn't.
He did. He thought that.
You couldn't let him think that.
And I'm pedaling my bike, and I'm sweating trying to go up that hill. That looks pretty weak.
Oh, God.
But anyways, that was a good laugh. Because she does. She flies up the hill.
I'm getting to pedal more.
Yeah.
But boy, I love that electric assist going up the hill. Sure is helpful. How's it going there?
It's going. I'm putting the first handle on.
It's a pretty fancy cart.
You still got a chance.
No, it's okay. I don't think those wheels would hold me.
Yeah, they would. I could probably even put a board on there so you could stand on the board.
Oh, now it's a scooter, huh?
It'd be like a scooter. It's got a tall handle on the front.
Is there electric assist?
No, but okay, I don't know where we lost our video, but I do have this almost assembled now. Somewhere along the line, the camera stopped.
Can you see that?
So, anyway, I'm going to turn this around, get bolts in.
Can you see this?
Yeah, you got to go that way. Other way. Right there, good. Right, I'm going to finish assembling this. If we can fix the video, then it's good. Otherwise, so I'm just putting these bolts in. What I was talking about earlier when the camera quit, I'll show you that here in a second as soon as I get the nuts on here. And I'm going to ratchet everything in place. I got 2 extra. So, what's that for? Okay, before I tighten everything down, if you can see this. Right here. So I had this piece here with this bracket over here. And what happened was this piece here was hitting. It was hitting, this piece was here up against this. And so I moved everything that way. Instead of having the bracket here and here, bracket is now here and here, which pulls that way over there so you can tighten the hose on it, which is the way it should have been. There's no instructions that say that, but that's what we got. So now I'm going to tighten all this down. And I did not tighten these brackets over here yet. And these are, like I said, elastic nuts, so don't over tighten them. So just tighten it so that the bolt's not moving. I think that would probably be the right way to say it. Because if you can over tighten, you can crush this tubing. And all you're doing is trying to hold it together. And if it comes, you seems like it's too loose, then tighten it down a little bit. I want to do this other side here first before I tighten down that back, because this is what's going to, the back over there is where I can go up and down on it if I need to make an adjustment. I don't think I will. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. These two, there's two bolts in here that hold the handle on. So I got to turn it around again. I got two bolts over here. So I left this undone so that it could find its right position. And that's what now I'm going to tighten them up. Well, it's feeling good and solid.
Looks good.
Looks good. Uh-oh. Well, we got a basket that goes here.
What was the uh-oh for?
Oh, there's two more bolts.
Oh.
Ooh, I thought I was out of bolts. So overall, the instructions were not real great. They weren't bad, but they weren't great. And the number of parts, I think they're right on the mark. All right, so this hose here and these two rubber gaskets, or silicone gasket, feel like, they go here. They have to be a decent hose. And there's no gasket in here, so we gotta we put a gasket here. Okay. I kind of push it down in there, make sure it gets down in the bottom. Lost that one. And that will go on here. this one goes into here. I'll show you what I'm talking about getting it down to the bottom because there's a flat area down there. It's got to sit against the flat area. You don't want it stuck in the threads. You can see that washer is flat in the hole. It's not beveled up or anything. That's the way it's supposed to be. All right, so that's that. The next part I have to do is go get my hose and reel it on here. So I'm gonna go get that ready. Took it all the way out to the road, down around the driveway, and got it all straight as possible. And I'll get this out of the way. So, I'm not sure. It's got to go in here. I got the spring on here, so I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to make it work. This is a really good hose. It's got the spring on here to keep it from kinking. And it's going to give me some trouble to get it started. Okay, we are ready to crank the hose onto the reel. And so this is, because it's already pointed that way, I'm going to crank it on like this. Get it started. I gotta get my feet where I can hold the cart.
Can you hold it?
No, no. Get it over that way. There we go. Get on the camera. So you can see it's spiraling.
Move your bucket closer.
That's what you want to make sure is when you're coiling stuff up like this, you want to make sure it's spiraling correctly. And then when I get to the end here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, if you can see this, how it's spiraled down there. That's where you want it to spiral. And then it's going to start going the other way. If you don't do that, it won't matter probably, but yeah, pull that hose, will you? It's stuck out there in the driveway.
Okay.
I got it on the driveway, and it's snagging on something on the way in. Same problem I have other times. So when you're trying to wind this stuff up in loops, it gets tangled up on everything on the way out and on the way back.
The assistant is assisting.
Oh yeah, my assistant is finally assisting. She wouldn't go down the hill for me, but she'll help me with the hose, I guess. Oh, don't let it get tangled.
Yeah. Is it gonna fit on there?
Hmm?
Is it gonna fit on there?
Yeah, it'll fit. Problem is I'm sitting and trying to crank. It's not comfortable. I should be standing up. I think I'm wore out.
Going good.
Yep.
Except near the back of the car.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it coming now. The nozzle's dragging across the ground. I can hear it.
I'm pulling the water out of the hose. Oops, hold on, stuck on the tire. Go.
Good, that's good. Pull that up and set it up here. Right there. Here we go.
Cool. I like it.
Now all I gotta do is go hook this onto the hose bib on the house and unreel this all the way to the front again and water the lawn where they got tore up. I gotta do that today yet and water the gardens on all the gardens that I have ready to go. I've got 2 of these hoses, these bigger hoses, and these hoses. And I got those from Sam's Club. They're very good hoses, and they don't crush. So I got this from Vevor. I don't know if you know Vevor. You can get them on Amazon. Vevor sells them on there too. But there is a website for Vevor. Not that I get any money or anything from them, but I bought stuff from them, and it's usually halfway decent at a good price. Of course, everything's made in China. But I looked online to buy one of these. On Marketplace, and I found one that was selling for $65 and one that was selling for $15. The one for $15 was old and it probably going to need new wheels, and I didn't know if this part over here was even going to be any good. So I kind of thought, nah, not that one. Anyways, I looked at Vevor. The guy wanted $65 for the used one, and I was able to buy this on Vevor. The price on Vevor is between $70 and $90. If you're a member, you're going to get a discount, and there's sometimes you can even get more discount. So I ended up only paying $74 for this, and it's a good investment, I think. Especially because I got a garden way in the back, and it'll take all of this hose and a short hose to get to the garden. And at least now I'll be able to reel it back in and store it out of the way. So, all right, I hope we got saved this video, and if you like this, give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate your support telling other people about us. And see you next time.